What's up, everyone? This is ElDestroyer229, and welcome back to Let's Play Persona 5. Last time, we managed to find the treasure's location in Okumura's palace. We now have our infiltration route secured, and we can steal the treasure whenever we want. In this episode, we are actually going to go about and do that. Though, the reason why I'm starting here is because I did go ahead and went ahead and bought this off screen. I did went and buy some bionutrients because we need to feed the plant, and I don't have any more of the good stuff. And that's only open at night, and we can't go out once we send the calling card, which is what we are going to be doing this evening. So instead, to make up for that, I went ahead and bought the second best plant food that I could get. Yeah, because the flower shop is not open during the day.
Hi.
All we have is a general store, which is not really all that great. But I can still make up for the points. It's just going to cost me a lot more money. So what I'm going to do is grab a luck reading from Chihaya.
Now.
And then increase kindness. Because it's just so happens to be one of the two stats that I don't have maxed out.
What do you think?
So, yeah, that kind of sucks. However, with everything taken care of on that front, let's meet up at the hideout.
Okay.
Oh, yeah. Yes. Hmm?
Futaba, 1, Persona users can't have palaces. And 2, you'd have to be very distorted in the opposite direction for that to happen. Maybe we should try to just focus on the task at hand. Alright, so Haru is officially caught up. But, as I mentioned before, today, we're sending the calling card.
We will entrust this to you, Haru. Okay. I placed this in my father's study, and the treasure will appear, correct?
If he notices the calling card, then yes. Are you afraid of doing this to your own father?
To be honest, a little.
Try to recall your anger. It will guide you in the right direction.
So we're carrying out this plan tomorrow?
Yeah, that's the plan.
Alright, no staying up late tonight then.
We can laugh or cry all we want, but we only get one shot at this. Everyone, I'm counting on you.
Oh.
Where have you been? Been searching all along, kept facing twilight on and on, without a clue, without a sign, without grasping it. The real question to be asked: where have I been? I'm a sharpshooter. Ghost masquerade, hiding both face and mind, all free for you to draw. I'm a sharpshooter. What else should I be?
Because it'd be really bad if anyone found out our identities. Well, anyway. Once again, there's not really a whole lot that we can do.
Oh!
But I did went and buy this plant food because did not think I needed another one. But sure enough, I do.
Oh!
So I'll get a few extra points into kindness. Alright.
Oh!
Not exactly enough, but still. So, again, this evening, not really a whole lot we can do. Oh, wait. Can we?
Hey!
Oh. Yeah, I wasn't sure because I thought Morgana would just stop us. If I'm being completely honest, for not even going down the stairs. But at any rate,
I see.
the only thing we can do is just make more infiltration tools. We don't need the proficiency, so we don't need to worry about the bonuses. But since I have enough liquid mercury and aluminum sheets, even though I do have 6 lockpicks, which is a little bit of a waste,
Okay.
the eternal lockpick will mean we never have to have any other lockpicks ever again. So let's go ahead and make it. Wow. Okay, sure.
What are your thoughts?
Now we have 2 eternal lockpicks. So in case one of them breaks, we have a backup. But these are skeleton keys. It's so stupid. That's a bit of a waste of a double. Well, there's not really a whole lot else that, well, is really necessary. I can only make 1 treasure trap, though. That sucks. Reserve ammo would be nice, but I'm trying to think, would I need any additional treasure traps? I don't think so. Well, I can make an element set. Oh. I'm actually not entirely sure. I mean, yeah, there's really not anything else that we really need to make. Again, these things aren't really necessary. I guess I can make a treasure trap, sure. Doesn't hurt to have more of these.
What are your thoughts?
And then I suppose I go home.
Okay.
It's always good to have some backup of those.
What are your thoughts?
I've still got plenty of more things that I could make. Smoke screen, I guess? Again, this would probably be one of those times in which you would use the tools to just make copies of various different items, even if you aren't going to use them, because, again, you do need to make a copy of every single item yourself if you want to get an achievement. So, this would definitely be an opportunity to be able to do that. I guess I can make another smoke screen. But since I'm not going for that, because I already have that achievement, it's not really strictly necessary. So then the last one, I guess I can make a vanish ball.
Okay.
Just as a last resort type of thing.
What are your thoughts?
Yeah. Alright, so that's some useless proficiency. But we got us some extra items.
Well then.
Sir Kunikazu Okumura, the great profiteering sinner of greed. Your success and global fame exists due to the tyranny you reign over your employees. Thus, we have decided to make you confess all your crimes with your own mouth. From the Phantom Thieves. I must take care of this before it becomes a problem. I've received a calling card from the Phantom Thieves. I need you to send it over to the police. Don't make me repeat myself. Give it to the police. That's an order. These scoundrels have threatened me. Aren't the police supposed to side with law-abiding citizens?
I will not fail.
This matter is urgent. Take care of it at once.
I need to let everyone know about this.
All right.
Yes?
Why don't you try?
Huh. Okay, which is a civil servant? That would be a fisherman of Nagaragawa.
Very good.
There are a lot of A's in there. Well, I mean, it's hard to break into the world of politics.
Nice going!
And of course, we get another point into some useless knowledge.
All right.
Woo. I mean, it's been going down all year, hasn't it? Well, I mean, I like the fervor, but you can't exactly argue with positive support.
Wait, he even figured out when we're gonna do it?
This is different from normal. He has some nerve delivering the calling card to the police himself.
Either he's certain his heart won't be changed, or he's colluded with the police from the beginning.
As strange as it is for me to say, I could see that being the case.
Whoa, the comments are coming in hot! Look!
Take him down, Phantom Thieves. I don't care what the Phantom Thieves do as long as they show up, haha. Just do it quick, lol.
They're just saying whatever they want. At this point, all they care about is seeing those in power beg for forgiveness. Damn it, this isn't a game!
The means and the ends have been reversed. We're starting to be seen purely as entertainment.
But we gotta do this. We can't just drop everything now.
Considering the existence of the palace, his desires are indeed distorted. In a sense, the earlier we pull the root, the better.
And given the issue concerning Haru's fiancé, we don't have another choice in the matter.
If we don't, then everything we've been doing up until now would just be for nothing.
I believe this is best too. After hearing my father speak, I saw no remorse in him.
Ryuji and Haru were right. Honestly, everything the public is talking about does bother me a little. But Okumura may just be the one behind the mental collapses. We can't leave this be.
No. Not after everything we've gone through. We can't let this go. Even if it's a bit difficult to swallow considering the public. We're not going to abandon Haru.
I feel like he's hiding something. Something big.
True. And we already sent the calling card after all.
Let's do this like we always do. And steal his palace's treasure.
Alright, so now we begin our infiltration. Now this palace is a bit irritating to say the least when it comes to doing things the way that I, well, have set out to do. Because we can very easily just get to where we need to be thanks to our safe room to the weapon production area. But since I specifically make it a point to go through the palaces legit when we're doing these, when we're actually going about and stealing the treasure, that makes doing this one a bit more irritating. Because unlike a lot of other palaces... Oh boy, Black Ooze. Unlike a lot of other palaces, where they unlock shortcuts and whatever to help you get through in case you need to go back. Really, starting with Futaba's Palace, you don't really see that. Especially when it comes to the later palaces in the game. Now, for some of the palaces, especially ones that are going to be later on down the line, those are pretty straightforward. However, this palace is really freaking difficult. Well, not really difficult, but irritating to go through without using safe rooms. Because there's not really any shortcuts you can really get.
Show me your true form.
Is that a rare one?
Oh!
Take it away! Persona!
Cool! I love it when a rare enemy just decides to join the fray. Even better when I have a position hack to help me out.
You weren't a big deal at all.
So anyway, like I was saying before... Damn, 2 position hacks in a row.
I felt the difference in strength.
Anyway,
in that
like I was
box.
saying, what makes this palace kind of infuriating if you're not using the safe rooms to automatically get to where you need to be, is the fact that most palaces do have shortcuts, and even the later palaces, they're more just straight shots to the treasure once you have found it. The problem with this palace, however,
I can feel it.
is the fact that there's not really any shortcuts. Like, there really isn't. The only area we can really skip is the barracks section. So yeah, we can maybe skip— oh, come on! Freaking Arahabakis and their freaking Makarakarns. Anyway, like I was saying, the only area we can really skip in this palace is the barracks section. That's really the only area that we got that was any sort of, like, side area. However, when it comes to the... ooh, actually, this is the barracks section. Whoops! But you see my point. The barracks section is skippable, which is not really unlike other sort of areas in different palaces. But we never got any sort of shortcuts for the factory section or the airlock section. Which means getting through those sections is really irritating because the fact that we have to actually go through them normally again. So this really isn't the type of palace that you can really, well, it's not advised that you do it this way. Hell, I almost feel like the first couple of palaces, they didn't actually intend for you to be able to skip it. But then that feature was implemented later on.
Okay.
So, yeah, that's kind of my thought, just because the early palaces do these sort of shortcut things, but the later palaces don't. And while the later palaces are usually good at, you know, making things rather simple if you just want to do straight away, this one doesn't. It's actually kind of quite terrible. So, yeah, basically we have to go through 2/3 of the dungeon again if we don't use safe rooms.
Is that a rare one? Don't let it get away!
Damn, the game really loves just giving me these rare enemies. And again, I suppose that is the advantage of fighting enemies this way.
I handled that easily.
Because since the alert level is so high,
Okay.
problem is that a lot of these enemies have repels. Akihabaras have Makarkarn, Dekarabias have Tetrakarn. It's really irritating because they often get a chance to get me before I get a chance to get them, especially if they decide to just spawn right on top of me.
I'll reveal your true form.
It is harder to get the ambush off, which, I mean, sometimes it's impossible to get the ambush, and oftentimes, like, I can't just run in front of them, like I can sometimes do if the level isn't as high as it is now. So, yeah. Having enemies that can basically cover their weaknesses like that gets really infuriating really quickly. I don't know. It's like I said, if there was one palace that I was dreading doing when I decided to not go with safe rooms, it was this one. This one was definitely the worst palace to be able to do in this fashion. It also doesn't help that there's a lot of enemies that I really just don't want to fight. Especially when you have 4 Dekarabias and all of them manage to pull off a Tetrakarn before you get a chance to move. Yeah, that can be slightly irritating. Anyway, I was kind of playing of maybe squeezing in a history lesson while we were here. But considering how late it was when we started, I just don't think that's possible. So I'm just gonna have to wait until the next opportunity before delving into my next history lesson. Damn it! I guess the good thing about Oya's ability is that it doesn't really increase like the alert level as much. So it's kind of helpful, especially in circumstances like this. So that's helpful at the very least. Ooh, I've got that guy to take care of, though. Are you gonna go this way? Kind of. Fortunately, with the alert level being as high as it is, enemies are a lot more alert.
I'll reveal your true form.
So, yeah, gotta be careful. I honestly thought another enemy spawned right there. It's like, oh, you have gotta be kidding me. Which has happened before in this palace. Pretty sure you guys all saw that earlier. Well, anyway. Because, yeah, part of the problem is that, like, in this section here, we can't really bypass, like, all of this stuff.
Shadow spotted.
So we just gotta go through it the way we've been doing it. Thankfully, though, we don't need to just... Oh, boy. What also doesn't help is the fact that in this palace, there's just not as many places to just run and hide. So oftentimes, you're just out in the open. Of course, that wasn't the one I wanted to attack. Ooh. But that will certainly work, and now Noir gets Psy Boost. Very nice. Next is Makarakarn, which is okay, I guess. That is part of what she specializes in. You son of a... Again, like I was mentioning.
Alright.
This palace is really freaking annoying to do it this way. Not just because you have to go through basically 2/3 of it anyway, but with so little places to hide, it makes encountering enemies a bit rougher. So having to deal with a lot more enemies and not having the benefit of an ambush, it's really irritating, to say the very least.
I'll reveal your true form.
Unfortunately, even with all the... Right, what was I saying?
Well, that's
That battle took a lot longer than I was anticipating. Anyway, like I said, we need to just basically go through this normally. And without having too many good places to hide, plus enemies that are a lot more alert, even though they were really alert to begin with. Now I remember what I wanted to say. It also really doesn't help the fact that, like, aside from if it's just black oozes, I can't actually beat, like, I can't just one-shot the enemies. So it makes going through things just a wee bit more complicated. And I intentionally left those two behind. And unfortunately, we also just lose our music. I get enough time. Aha, suckers!
I can see it.
Thankfully, there's no enemies over here, which is... Oh, actually, no, I stand corrected. Can I hide right here? I can't.
I'll reveal your true form.
You know, you could always run.
Huh. The music doesn't actually change.
Time for my persona.
Cool, we can actually maybe hear more of this song.
Zoro. One enemy on the floor. Bonafide.
Because, like I mentioned, this is actually a decently length song.
Bonafide.
So, you don't often hear it, like, played out anywhere near to its fullest extent.
Mitra!
I think I may just shut up so that way you guys can hear more of it.
There!
Knocked him right off their feet. Nice, Joker.
It kind of loops at this break. There's still more to it, but like I said, there's a lot to this song. A lot more than what you will ever hear if you just ended at 30 seconds.
Okay.
And we were kind of nearing the end of it anyway.
A stylish victory.
So yeah, like I mentioned, that song goes a lot longer than you would expect it to do. But thankfully I can avoid a couple battles. All we have to do is just get to it from here. Have to do that. Screw it, and they didn't notice. Don't question it. And we can get on over to this side over here. Ah, shoot, there's 2 of them.
Reveal your true form. Okay.
It is, though, rather interesting hearing that as a sort of
That was
battle
so easy, I'm
theme.
yawning.
It's not exactly a song you would really think of to be a battle theme, but it kind of technically is. Just in this palace, because it's like one of the few times you ever hear that song in the entire game. So there's that. Oh, jeez. And there's more of this. I'm half tempted just to say screw it and go through the lasers, now that I think about it. I think I may actually do that, if I'm being completely honest. I don't think we... No, I have to. We have to go over this way anyway because of those freaking... Ugh. I hate this palace! I hate this palace and the fact that doing it this way means it's overly long and complicated to try to do it because I basically have to go through most of the palace freaking twice.
Reveal your true form.
Okay, so I'll just go ahead, topple this guy.
True form.
Thank you! There are still some enemies I can do that to. And I'm just gonna go through the lasers. I can't. Well, damn it! I thought I could actually do that. I never actually tried going through lasers before. I guess the game straight up prevents you from doing it. Great. I thought it would just increase the level and just... maybe just spawn a few extra enemies. Oh, you have got to be kidding me. Well...
All right, Joker!
Well, I'm not complaining.
Okay.
That's all it takes
Wait,
for me.
what? What? The timer actually stopped partway, like, when the battle ended? I didn't realize that. I thought I kept on going down regardless. Interesting. Well, at this point, I'm half tempted just to speed on through for the rest of this. Because there really isn't that much left to go through. And I say that by there not being anything new to go through. Because we still have to get through this area.
I can see it.
We're still going to claim any sort of treasure that are in our way. Still gonna have to fight some enemies. And we're still gonna have to go through the airlock section as well, because there's no shortcut through that area either. Sucker. Well, that didn't quite work as planned. Oh, crap! Oh, what the? I was actually wondering how the heck they caught up to me, and I think I know the reason why.
Show me your true form.
And it was because I wasn't running, I had third eye active by mistake.
That was fast.
So, yay for me and hitting the wrong button. Well, at the very least, I cleared them out, so that way it wouldn't be a problem when I eventually hit the crusher, so that way I can move onward. But again, if only there was a way to permanently turn off the crushers.
I'll reveal your true form.
I mean, there was any number of different ways that they could have made this just a little bit less painful if you decide to not use the safe room. But I'm pretty sure at this point they decided that, most players would likely just use the safe rooms. What reason would they really have to just go through the palace again normally? I'll tell you why, because it makes things more fun and interesting as opposed to just skipping right to the end. Besides, it's not like there isn't any purpose to doing it this way. I am still getting a lot of experience and quite a lot more money. Which, even though I already have a lot of money, yeah, I'm going to need even more money. Not for anything specific or anything that's even necessary, but I'm gonna need a lot more money. Just saying. So yeah, I mean, if there was just some way to deactivate those lasers even on this side, it would make going through this portion even, like, a lot easier. It would make things a lot more convenient at the very least. Because even if there wasn't a way to get through the entire factory portion, I mean, just opening that up would have made things a hell of a lot easier. And now we have the airlock section, which is another area that has 0 shortcuts in it. I don't like this palace doing it this way, in case that wasn't entirely obvious. Or in case you didn't hear me complain about it for about a half dozen other times. I think at this rate, since this is just literally going through the same airlock. See, unfortunately, even the airlocks, they don't stay. They don't stay where they were, like, when you left. That would have been exceedingly helpful to get through here again if the puzzles stay where you left them. But they don't. Just a few quick changes like that would have made a world of difference in traversing through this palace this way. Well, whatever. At this rate, I'm just going to be content in just skipping on ahead. If anything important happens, I'll show it to you guys, but it's not even worth... Oh no! Just went right through a robot. It's not even necessary to show this off, so I'm just gonna skip ahead in case anything important happens. So, excuse me while I try to get through the airlock section a second time, and not just bitch about it for the entire length of this palace.
I'll reveal your true form.
Oh, sweet, I leveled up.
It's a step forward.
I didn't even have to really skip anything except that battle. And now to skip more things.
You're still good to go, right?
Hey, she's really catching up.
There.
Never actually saw Dakunda. That helps.
Right off their feet. Nice, Joker.
Oh, more level ups still help. Woo! Especially with a nuke boost. What do I want to get rid of for that? I'm thinking just a regular Rakukaja. Because she's probably gonna get Mod Rakukaja at some point. Hey, speak of the devil. That's gonna suck when I have to get rid of that, but, well, get rid of something. Hey, sweet! Alright, that was what exactly we wanted Unicorn to learn. Kolga. Oh, Mahama's nice, but not exactly the greatest. Now, Hama-on the other hand. Woo, sweet! And Mona got Sami-Rakarm. Well, I'm getting rid of regular Rakarm for that. Ooh, next is Diarahan, a full heal. That's gonna be nice. Well, I feel a little bit better. Now that I didn't spend the entire time just complaining. Anyway, we are now at our destination, the final safe room, right where we saw the treasure. However, considering this has been quite a lengthy, well, palace exploration, I'm gonna call it a day here. I've been going on for quite some time, and even with all the battles taken out, yeah, we're definitely good to call it a day. So, next time on Let's Play Persona 5. We've made it to the end of the palace where the treasure is. All we have to do is steal the treasure. So, once we do that, Okumura will have his change of heart like all the others before him. Let's just hope that it won't be any, well, mishaps. Though, even if there is, I'm more than ready to take it on. Until next time, everyone, take care.